Here we go again. Got another day here. Another days usually start after you go to sleep at night. So you wake up in the morning. Whenever you go to sleep, you wake up. Sometimes when we sleep, we dream. Sometimes we remember these dreams. Sometimes we have nightmares. Nightmares are usually the easiest dream to remember because nightmares are going to have some sort of distress, panic, anxiety, feelings of alertness. And most of the time, you'll wake yourself up from a nightmare to avoid whatever danger is waiting for you in that nightmare, whatever you're afraid of. Nightmares aren't fun, but it's a part of a dream that we're in during the later parts of REM sleep. So usually it's late at night or late in our sleep pattern. And that's when we're deep, and that's when we can visualize things and we realize what's going on around us. We're very aware of what's going on in our surroundings. That's why we're scared. That's why we're terrified. That's why we're having these feelings. Anyways, it's okay to have a nightmare. You're not in control of that. Usually there's some sort of stress-related event connected to your nightmare in real life. So that's why you're having the dream and the visualization when your brain is at its most active part and you have the least amount of control. So it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. You might not enjoy it, but that's why we call it a nightmare. And these are okay when they happen. I mean, it's completely natural as long as you can wake up. Look, last night I couldn't go back to sleep. I had knots in my stomach for hours. I laid there on the edge of sleep, but I couldn't get things out of my head that I saw in a dream, like I had a nightmare. It woke me up. So that's why we're talking about nightmares, because we all have them from the time we're children to the time we're adults. It's just a bad dream. Again, a lot of it can be related to a stress-related event going on in your life, whether it's past, present, future, a worry, an angst, something that happened that you have no control over, like it's in the past, meaning you can't change it. You just have to learn to deal with this. A lot of clinicians, psychotherapists, psychologists, whatever, people will say that it's good to have these, and it can be therapeutic. You know, obviously that depends on how you handle them. As long as they don't become some sort of a disorder that you have on a regular basis, something that interferes with your life as far as your work life, social life, anything like that. Then you have a problem. Like, that can happen. One here and there is completely normal and natural. It's good to deal with it. It's good to talk to people about it, especially if you remember what happened. It's good to write down what happened. It's good to go over what happened. It's good to try and understand what happened and why it affected you the way it did. Like, not everything that happens in your nightmare is completely the end of the world, but you have to address these issues in life. That's why it's showing up in your sleep, because it has been unaddressed. It's an unaddressed trauma or just something that bothers you. I mean, here's the problem right now in society. We get so caught up on words like trauma. It's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. No, man, it's something bad that happened or negative. Get a fucking dictionary. So something that affected you negatively or in a way that you didn't really expect or weren't prepared to deal with, that's traumatic. We think we learn how to handle things in life, and we think we know how to when we get into certain situations. But there will be situations that come up where you are ill-prepared. This is called being an adult, continually growing up, learning how to adapt to situations. That's just what you have to do. So you can try and be prepared for everything, but in life there will still be traumas and tragedies that you're not prepared to deal with. You're extremely ill-equipped, and when these events happen, you will be tested in a way where you are unprepared, so you will have to figure it out. It's possible. It's highly probable you can do it if you attempt to and work very hard at the things you have to. Nothing's impossible. But are you willing to put in the effort to do things that you're not capable of currently? That means you're going to have to do work to become more reliable, more responsible, more capable. again, it's possible. And you see, that's how dreams can take us. Dreams and nightmares, they can be bad things, but they can also be good things. Like, you can have a dream. And if you think about how much work you might have to put in to something that you really value and would enjoy seeing happen, like you would enjoy seeing the fruits of your labor through that, but it's gonna be a nightmare, hellish experience doing the work. So you have to do the work. Can you do the work? Yes. Have you done the work yet? No. Is it a lot of work? Yes. But that's a dream within a nightmare, or a nightmare within a dream. So again, like, there's gonna be things that happen in your unconscious, subconscious mind when you're sleeping and dreaming that you have no control over. But you can also have dreams in your life that you attempt to have control over. And some of these dreams may be stemmed from the nightmares that keep you up at night. The things that don't let you sleep might be what drive you through the day. And that's admirable, noble. It's a beautiful thing. Like, you have to embrace that. If that's something that's happening to you, for you, about you, within you, then it's meant to be, and you have to go with that. And again, you have to put in the work. Like, you need to develop the understanding of why you're doing what you're doing, but we're doing it. And that essentially is a beautiful thing. So here's the thing, like, when things keep you up at night, or you can't sleep because of something that happened, you have to figure it out. You have to get to the root source of your restlessness and your worry and address those issues. Seek out the people that you need to talk to about these things. I'm a big fan of just talking to people you have problems with. Like, if you can come to an understanding to where you can just say, I'm sorry and I agree to disagree and I hope you have a nice day. I promise you'll have a good life. You will have a good life. You have to be able to look the people in the eye who hurt you and who you hurt and say you're sorry, and just have a peacefulness to yourself. There's no reason to be ill will or have a negative discourse with anybody in the universe, unless you're in a competition, a direct competition. Even then, you can be admirable and, polite about things. You can show people respect. But when we don't, bad things are going to happen. I don't know if that's going to be a nightmare. I don't know if you're going to have anxiety or depression. You're going to develop some sort of an illness, a modern Western society illness, a mental illness, because you're not being a good person. And when you can't sleep at night, you need to write down why, you need to figure it out, paint a picture, listen to a music, give yourself a massage, meditate, pray, talk to people, try and work through your things. You'll probably have a better life. It's not going to be easy, but you can do it. So I hope everyone has a good day. Go do what you got to do. Hopefully get some sleep tonight, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.